Killer was good, man.
Murder was good, man. How you doing, man?
Chilling, man. Had a long weekend, man.
Did you? What happened?
Yeah, man. A lot of stuff, man.
Like what happened over the weekend?
Now, first, before we get into all the other stuff, we want to address the elephant in the room, and we get that out the way. So through this Fredo shit,
Cam going up against me is like Fredo going up against Michael Corleone.
The chat begins amicably, but as they bring up the elephant in the room, you can feel the temperature quickly rising. A messy breakup with someone they used to be really close to. One side essentially says, if you have an issue with a man, talk to the man. This evolves into a full-fledged loyalty check. Not on the internet. The actual heat is located there. I can't even pronounce the name of homeboy
confidently anymore, just based on how disappointed I am in his behavior. One of my issues with Fredo, just to pivot back, and I keep saying I'm done, but I keep doing it, but these points keep coming up. Whenever you have a problem with a man, you talk to that man. You don't talk about that man, you talk to the man, especially if the man is willing to have the conversation. But this whole issue is because this dude is ducking a fair one, a verbal fair one. I'm too old to be fighting. But from what I know about Cam, that's not him. He doesn't fight. He's not a physical guy like that. Pause. But either way, that's not the example that we want the younger generation to lead or see. If you have a problem with someone, you talk to them, period. It avoids a lot of problems. Men speak. Men, even if I know it might be a difficult conversation, you still have it. As long as people don't get overly disrespectful, especially when it's someone that you love or someone that's looked out for them, you gotta give them grace.
The assertion is that this individual is attempting to fabricate the tale online while avoiding a verbal altercation. In any circle, that is a negative look, since it makes a personal issue into a public spectacle. Everyone is currently watching, as if it were the season finale. They portray it as a man-to-man issue of respect, and they consistently emphasize that this is not the kind of behavior that the younger generation should emulate. However, the way they discuss love and grace makes it seem like this isn't simply random animosity, which makes it even more bizarre. It's the public disclosure of personal history. When they accuse the other person of intentionally trying to make things uncomfortable, even bringing family members into the situation to exert pressure, it becomes much more bleak.
Believe a liar when the liar calls someone else a liar. It's just like an oxymoron. You know what I mean?
Say, yo, what the
Well, that's what bothered me. I'm like, yo, you gonna try to make my children uncomfortable to make me uncomfortable? That's what a flea does, not a fly guy, a little nasty, disgusting, dirty flea. And that's why homeboy calls himself Flea, Fredo Flea. And, that's a low-life fight.
Yo.
The thing I said about him and Big L, that shit was true. I put that on everything. I'm not gonna just make that shit up. But it did happen. I'm sure L told people.
I was on my way to the hill, me, him, and Big L. And I made a left on Amsterdam into a checkpoint, and I didn't have a license. But at that time, they didn't really always lock you up, but they sometimes did. So I was like, yo, I think I can get out of this, but I'm just letting y'all know I got 3 bricks in the car, but I'll wear it. Cam started crying, man.
You never told me about you and Big L and Dame being in the car.
Well, yeah, yo, I seen that. I didn't know me, Big L, and Dame was in the car together.
And he told us right then and there that he would put himself in PC. Dad, I'm putting myself in PC. Me and Big L like, what? What?
I didn't even know that me, Big L, and Dame have ever been in the car together.
Oh, man.
You know what's crazy? I was going to save that for my show because I didn't want to get into this.
At that point, the rhetoric became acerbic, mocking his moniker and essentially portraying him as someone who moves stealthily rather than steadfastly. Additionally, they dropped the well-known remark about how it makes no sense for a liar to label someone else a liar. And everyone in the room laughs. But it's that awkward laugh that indicates that things are getting ugly. They vehemently assert that certain tales are accurate, and once someone begins to claim, I put that on everything. The scandal angle intensifies. It's a struggle of credibility now. Furthermore, reputation is crucial in hip-hop environments. They're not merely disputing emotions. They are debating who is genuine, who is fronting, and who is attempting to change history in order to gain attention.
We went to the side and was like, afterwards we were laughing, but I was like, I will never hustle with him. He's a ball player and he does music. So I never really, he's a civilian. But you can't be saying you the best that ever did it in Harlem and you never sold drugs. And if you had to go to Ohio after you was a rapper, that's not the best that ever did it. How dare you say some shit like that?
Now I'm gonna say for totally, but I didn't know that nigga was such a liar. Like, you know how your man is your man, so you probably don't be annoyed. Like that's your man. You be like, nah, you just hate us. I didn't know this nigga a lot like that, man.
But there's a lot of things that he probably is scared I'm gonna say, which is why he's trying to discredit me all of a sudden. But I can tell you right now, that is illegal. You can't call somebody a liar that's not lying, especially when it comes to business. And that's another thing,
Yeah.
First of all, let me tell you something. And last I'm saying to talk Flea, but Mase know.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, bro. Big L is not your man. This whole shit don't even make no sense. First of all, I'll say this real quick because we got to move on. Me, you, and Big L going to get drugs or riding around Harlem don't even sound right. Big L didn't f with you. I tried to plug you into Big L when you wanted to sign him when he started his own label, Flamboyant. And y'all was trying to sign him. But Big L brother, Big Lee and Reg, they didn't like you. If you had 3 bricks in the car, or you was on the way to get 3 bricks in the car, on the way to get bricks, whatever fucking lie you told, story you told, you wouldn't have made it home. Big L lines niggas. Mase, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of history, the story time turns insane when they mention a checkpoint, an old ride through Harlem, and a high-risk scenario. According to one side, there was a point when they were prepared to wear it and fall. But the other guy became frightened and began discussing protective custody.
Again, a liar calling someone else a liar that's only known for telling the truth. He himself said, I don't know you for lying, so why would I start lying now over him? We don't fold. We have a pride. We're bosses, right?
Yep.
You're looking like your father. And also, even down to this journey with my teeth. You see, I walk around, take pictures. I'm seeing them take pictures and videos. I'm like, look at these niggas, 7 years old.
That's the kind of detail that gets people to pay attention, because it's a situation you can visualize, not just what he said. However, the response comes soon away, essentially stating that it doesn't even sound correct, and declaring the entire situation impossible. They contend that Big L would not have been riding with him in that manner, and they make the point that it's far too simple to use stories about individuals who aren't present to affirm. Fans are now assessing who is telling the truth and who is fabricating a movie script for the timeline, which is a huge stain on public view. The conversation suddenly veers into jokes about teeth and veneers, but even that becomes a
You lying me. So,
Yo, Big
you
L,
got a point there. Yeah, you quick on your feet.
Big L lines like barbers, my nigga. You wouldn't have made it home, my nigga.
And the only thing I'm always lying about is something that no one else saw if that person's not on this planet.
Stop that, yo, it's really, you going out bad, bro. Stop lying, my nigga. Me, you, and Big L have never been nowhere to get no work or had no work or stopped in a checkpoint or nothing, my nigga. You going out bad, but I'll trust it on talk with flea murder. But yeah, man, you might need to say a prayer for me.
Yeah.
They make fun of people whose teeth fall out in the middle of a discussion, then turn it into a flex about being self-assured despite the mess. The punchlines are obviously directed at certain individuals without always mentioning names, which makes them both humorous and brutal. Then they go one step further, discussing actual health issues like infections and how serious dental problems can affect your entire body. And someone makes jokes, which clarifies a lot. It is outrageous, since it essentially refers to some individuals as unstable without using explicit language. They immediately return to the larger theme after that. Why, when their name is mentioned, are the loudest talkers generally the most sensitive? That's the formula for scandal. Act hurt, talk tough, and then rush to the internet. The most egregious instance of treachery is when they talk about backdooring, asserting that a purported buddy accepted chances and chats without making the polite initial contact. You don't cross that border in their society. Either meet or not.
My teeth out and I will heat you up. Don't ever think I don't give a f. We can snap and you shouldn't get mad.
Yeah.
That's the one thing we don't do, right? When we snap, we don't get mad.
No?
Be all sensitive and talking about all day on TV. You say one thing about them, they start crying. I'm done with it. I'm gonna just sue you. I'm not gonna look like a clown no more.
Being that y'all in y'all field or whatever, I know y'all not supposed to judge or anything. Like you said, you got family members, they got dentists, but do y'all look at that as like the broken teeth as far as dentures, and the veneers is like a class up?
I feel like everybody should experience being broke because you realize so much more. Like,
why you think they say all that shit all the time? That I'm having such a challenging, but why is it so important for people to think that I'm not enjoying my life? Have you ever seen me struggle? You ever see me in a little house?
Yeah.
When you gotta talk like this because you don't want your dentures to fall out, like you biting down.
I just feel like there's some things I need to say today.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. The questions he's asking is stuff that we have witnessed in the last few months. So his questions are really all legit. Like the stuff that we've been watching.
no, that's good.
Yeah.
I have things that I want to say, and I think I want to talk clearly, so I'm not going to sit here and grit my teeth all day.
It doesn't fit, and it's moving around when they're talking and chewing, so they have to stay closed. Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Call that.
He's a Stugats. That's what we call guys like him. When you start off honorable and end up unhonorable, and you go to the other side, he was Stugats. So that's also his new name, Stugats.
Then, in order to get clicks, they add another layer with a story about an industry personality who manipulates words to convert a straightforward pat into a nasty-sounding rumor. At that point, the speakers begin referring to it as a setup right away.
Fredo or Cameo, but he's a Stugats. You've been around honor, you know honor, but you choose the other side, meant you was always on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? For real.
I do want to issue an apology, though, that without putting hands on nobody, without nobody physically getting harmed, without me doing any damage to anybody, family, or anything like that physically, that I mentally torture these niggas, man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know I'd do this to these niggas. That it goes on for months and years. That I mentally abuse you by just being me. It's mental abuse seeing me, huh? It is, huh? Me and my big $60,000 teeth.
If something's too perfect, that means it's completely wrong.
Yeah, everybody wants to be picture perfect all the time.
Exactly.
It's not a perfect world.
At all. Anything that's picture perfect is spooky because it's scary. It's a lie.
Yo, you think I don't feel bad that niggas having nightmares? Listen, man. Yo, listen, bro. I don't want to do this to people. Like, yo, for you to wake up and I ain't say niggas' names or people name and they just bring my name up randomly out of nowhere, you be like, huh? When niggas be saying that shit to me, I'll be like, still? Man, it gotta be slow. It's slow out there, man. It's a drought. I ain't know it's a drought. It's slow, man. Get the algorithm, say my name, get the algorithm jumping, nigga. It's all good. I ain't even knocking it. But I do apologize if I'm wrong.
Incorrect. They depict people pursuing algorithms, forging new partnerships with media figures, and enlisting former acquaintances in order to maintain their notoriety. All of this is presented as, you switched teams, now stand on it, and the message is evident despite all that strain. These days, it's more than jokes. Money, respect, and reputation are at stake. Make sure you subscribe and like the video if you want to see more breakdowns like this one.